I'm gonna be honest with you, dude, I hate cardio. This shit is ridiculous. And I would never do it, to be honest with you.
I have to do it. The only reason I do it.
Are you ready to record?
This is recording.
Hi, I'm Blake Mendenhall, and this is my good friend Mike Pat. Mike, why don't you introduce yourself?
All right, like he said, I'm Michael Patterson. I've known Blake since about, 7th or 8th grade?
Yeah, he's known me that long, but he really didn't fuck with me until about 9th, 10th grade. Let's just be honest.
All right, well, if that's how he puts it up. But, yeah, we went to, we got really close, junior and senior year. We went to the same college, or university, Southwestern University. Blake left after freshman year, I didn't, so I'm still there.
Alright, today we're going to talk about cardio. Now, in my opinion, cardio and your dieting are the most important things you're going to do to lose weight. And today we're going to talk about LISS cardio, L-I-S-S. And Mike actually went to school and he took a class about this, so I'm going to go ahead and let him explain it to you.
Yeah, so LISS cardio, low intensity steady state, is a form of cardio, and I guess we can't really talk about that one without touching on HIIT, high intensity interval training. So, but basically low intensity steady state is what it sounds like. You're gonna pick about 60 to 70% of your maximal effort and do that the whole way through your workout for about anywhere from 20 to 90 minutes, although it's pretty much recommended to do at least 45. The things that LISS helps with are they're really good for beginners that are just really trying to lose weight, because if you're already eating in a calorie deficit and then you're doing this essentially 45-minute steady state session where you're just burning calories, it's going to therefore lower your calories even more for the day. However, it does kind of run into some problems if you're someone that's already a little bit far more advanced and you have some muscle mass. It has been shown that doing it multiple times a week over 45 minutes can turn into a catabolic state, I think is what it's called, and it's where you burn protein because your body's depleted its carb source. So, like I said, if you're in a calorie deficit and you're already low on carbs and you deplete those carbs and you keep going, so past that 45-minute mark or maybe even 35, 40 minutes, you're going to start pulling from other sources, and sometimes that can be proteins or it can be fat, which is why it's so good for beginners, because if you have an excess amount of fat, you can hit that fat storage as well and burn from there, because that is a secondary source of energy.
Alright, so go ahead and give me an example of LISS training.
An example of LISS training that I do is, so I just get on the treadmill, put it at a certain incline, let's say 8, whatever you prefer, something that's not flat, but you don't have to climb a mountain. But
so 5 to 8, somewhere around there?
Yeah, 5 to 8 would be fine. And I usually put the treadmill on a 3-speed, so pretty much a fast walk, maybe not even that sometimes. And I just go for about 35, 40 minutes. And it sounds pretty easy because it is. You can hold a conversation while doing it, but you are going to sweat. You are going to feel like you are doing cardio, I guess.
So we're going to slow walk until we die at an incline, right? Or fast walk. We're going to fast walk till we die, huh?
Yeah, until we die. But I think it'd be best to actually use LISS with HIIT training, because like I said, if you're hitting LISS 6 times a week and you're already in a low carbs because you're in a calorie deficit to lose weight, you could really be negatively affecting your body and pulling from protein fibers and muscles that are stored. So really, I guess we could talk about HIIT a little bit.
Alright, go ahead and explain to me what HIIT is.
HIIT pretty much is getting your heart rate really high and then letting it come back down and level out for a little bit, and then repeating essentially over and over again. So an example of that would be running a 60-yard sprint and then walking essentially for about a couple minutes, either back to your starting position or walking back and forth for a couple minutes to bring that heart rate back down to a resting level or slightly above resting. So we're going to get the heart rate way up and then come down intervals.
Okay, so I should do LISS training, a couple times a week, but then also incorporate some HIIT training as well, correct?
Yes. From what I learned, I believe, I'm not an expert by any means on different types of cardios, but from what we learned is if you're mixing HIIT and LISS training, that's always going to be your best option. For one, if you constantly just do LISS, you can just have your metabolic rate stay like plateau eventually, because you're never essentially getting your heart rate up. You're never essentially breaking that peak of which your metabolic rate's at. So when you do HIIT, you're basically telling your body, getting your heart rate up and down, you're training your heart. Your heart's a muscle like anything else. So the more you train it, of course, the stronger it's going to be, the higher up your metabolic rate goes.
Okay, so your body's going to get used to going that pace.
Exactly. So LISS can get kind of, oh, I'm seeing fat loss because I'm already in a calorie deficit. I'm burning more calories from the LISS cardio. So I'm losing weight the first couple of weeks, but then your body knows that state. It's metabolic, your metabolic rate is essentially caught up to that LISS training level.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's not essentially burning those calories like you did a couple weeks ago.
Okay, so incorporating HIIT training is going to change that, give your body almost a shock like you would if you were doing a drop set or if you were doing a superset on like the weights, correct?
Yeah, it's basically going to train your heart to be stronger so you can do more, essentially. Yeah, and also, something Blake touched on, I would always, me personally, from what I've seen, from what Blake's done, what he's seen, I would always try and do, I know it's not easy for everybody, but try and do cardio in the morning fasted. Because like I said, when you do cardio, you're going to pull from what your body has in it. So say you put in 3 meals in your body already that day. If you're trying to gain muscle, or even if you're trying to lose weight, those are nutrients you kind of need for the day, the energy you need, and you're going to essentially burn that energy doing the cardio. Doing it in the morning, you have more fat to pull from that you already have instead of the food that you're going to be eating throughout the day. Instead of burning that, you can burn the fat that you already have.
So next week, we're going to get into the weightlifting. We're going to get into the arms, the legs. Yeah, gains. This is where you get your gains, your motivation. This is where you hit PRs. So we're going to work on that next week. Well, I'm Blake Mendenhall.
Michael Patterson.
Remember that Jesus loves gains.
Motivate greatness.
And subscribe below.